हाउ डज अ इकोनॉमी वर्क, वो कौन से फैक्टर्स है जो इकोनॉमी को इम्पैक्ट करते हैं. Namaste everyone, I am Shubhasree, a chartered accountant by profession, and here I am to share my understanding on how economy works. If you are someone who finds it hard to comprehend how any of the factors influences the entire metrics of economy, then please watch this video till the end and give a review on my attempt to clarify the same. Let's start with economy क्या है exactly. In simple terms, it's the productive arrangement of money. मेरा और आपका और सारे सिटीजन्स का इनकम और खर्चा. हमारा खर्चा मतलब किसी और का इनकम, या फिर ऐसे कहें कि हमारा खर्चा मतलब गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज का डिमांड बढ़ना. डिमांड बढ़ने का मतलब प्रोडक्शन में भी बढ़ना, जिसकी वजह से इंडस्ट्रीज का ग्रो होना, एंड एज अ रिजल्ट एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी बढ़ना, एंड ऑफ कोर्स हमारा भी इनकम बढ़ना. So economy is a cycle where these numerous elements constantly influence each other, moving in a certain direction, either upwards or downwards, until intercepted by concerned authorities. By the end of this video, you will come to know how the entire cycle of economy works. To simplify things in your mind, just remember one important line. The total amount of spending drives the economy. What? Come again? The total amount of spending drives the economy. वैसे तो every transaction involving money impacts our economy. But here are the key participants that influences the direction of our economy. First is we people. We 1.3 billion citizens, and our income and spending behavior shapes the economy. Second is the businesses, the industries that produces goods and provides services for our consumption. Third is the government. Government can influence the economy through its various policies on trade, foreign aid, taxes, so on and so forth. Another key participant is the central bank of a nation, that is the RBI. RBI controls the credit in an economy and the amount of money in an economy. And how does it do so? RBI controls the credit by regulating the interest rates, and it can control the amount of money in the economy because it has the power to print money. Credit is the most important factor in an economy. Credit means loans or borrowings that are available for various purposes like car loan, housing loan, business loan or personal loan. You may think, how are loans important? Yes, it is, because it stimulates spending. For example, if you own a credit card, it's a kind of loan, right, if you use it? So what's a normal human tendency when you own a credit card? You tend to spend more, right? Similarly, for any kind of loan you take, you will spend the money borrowed on purchasing something. For example, if you take a housing loan, एक घर बनाने के लिए, so you will spend the money borrowed on purchasing cement, rod, sand and such other materials. As already mentioned, your spending is someone else's income and it creates demand as well. So the trader will purchase more of such materials and the manufacturer will produce more if there is increase in demand in the market. So this spending leads to growth in the cement industry, sand industry, rod industry and all the related industries. Credit is good if it can be used to generate more income than the rate of interest you got to pay against the loan. Say आपने एक लोन लिया at 14% rate of interest per annum. इस amount को utilize करके if you can earn more than 14%, only then the loan is good. Again, if you take a loan to purchase a commodity which does not give you that much of return or which does not boost your earning potential, then the loan becomes a burden for you. Here we need to understand about demand and supply. When we are given loan, we are ready to spend more, which leads to increase in demand of the goods. But if there is no proportional increase in supply of the goods, prices will rise, causing inflation. For example, if there is less supply of vegetables in the market but demand is more compared to the quantity available, we see prices soar up. But these are products for which people are ready to pay more because it's essential. That is why hoarding of essential goods are discouraged. Hoarding is creating artificial crisis in the economy by stocking up goods by few people, leading to surge prices in the market, and for that reason inflation. For example, after the lockdown was announced, people feared unavailability of vegetables and grocery items, and so whoever had money purchased these goods in bulk quantities just to stock at homes. Production and distribution of essential items happen evenly and steadily. And so, for a small period of time, there is an illusion in the market of crisis of these goods. Few people take advantage of this situation and sell the products at higher prices, leading to inflation. Now, what is inflation? Inflation is a situation when purchasing power of money decreases. आज अगर आप 100 रुपए से 5 kg of rice purchase कर सकते हैं and after 1 year अगर आप 100 रुपए से 4 kg of rice purchase कर सकते हैं, इसका मतलब पैसा तो उतना ही रहा लेकिन उसका वैल्यू डिक्रीज हुआ है, मतलब परचेजिंग पावर ऑफ मनी हैज डिक्रीज्ड। इसी को बोलते हैं इन्फ्लेशन इन सिंपल टर्म्स। सिमिलर लॉजिक अप्लाइज इन डिटरमाइनिंग द एक्सचेंज रेट ऑफ रुपीज अगेंस्ट डॉलर्स एज वेल। It is the inflation and the demand of rupees compared to dollars in foreign trade that determines the exchange rate. Inflation को control करता है RBI. How? By increasing the rate of interest, the repo rate. Repo rate is the rate at which RBI lends money to commercial banks. A reverse repo rate is the rate at which commercial banks deposit their excess money with RBI. When RBI increases the repo rate, the cost of borrowings for the commercial bank increases, which they pass on to the public by proportionately increasing the rate of interest at which public borrow money from the banks or the rate at which public deposit money. Inflation is inversely proportional to repo rate. I'll explain how. जब interest rate ज़्यादा होगा तो लोन के लिए demand कम होगा. Higher rate of interest discourages people to take up loans to start new businesses or expand the existing ones. Fewer loans means lesser money in the market, resulting in low spending. And spending drives the economy. Remember, मेरा spending कम मतलब किसी और का income कम, उसका income कम मतलब उसका भी spending कम. The accumulated impact of this chain results in lower demand of goods and services compared to supply. To push their sales, businesses start offering their goods and services at lower prices. Thus, inflation comes under control. So, economy moves in cycles and keeps moving either upwards or downwards until something unprecedented happens, like a pandemic, or until the RBI intercepts. When inflation control measures continue to be active, spending across the market keeps on decreasing, leading to deflation. Deflation is the opposite situation of inflation. In such a scenario, purchasing power of money increases. You get 6 kg of rice for the same ₹100. If the momentum in this direction further continues, we experience a stage of recession. Economy faces recession when the sales and revenue of businesses decreases and the banks suffer massive losses as these businesses fail to repay the loans. Even spending by these businesses decline as they fail to obtain credit to make huge purchases or expand their production. Companies struggle with less cash and revenue, and so they try to reduce their cost by lowering wages and even laying off employees, leave alone hiring new ones. In this situation, unemployment rate soars up in the economy and further decreases the spending graph, making situation worse. Unemployment and recession go hand in hand. So before we reach this stage of recession, RBI again intercepts and takes few measures like lowering of interest rates with liberal loan facilities. When interest rates are decreased and loan processing is liberal, more and more people take loans, which means more money in the market and more spending as well. And then the momentum of buying and selling activity increases. Now hopefully you can comprehend the current situation of our economy. Apart from controlling credit by RBI, the government as well has its role to play in pulling out the economy from recession by formulating appropriate policies. I shall come up with a separate video on what government can do and the steps that government has already taken to prevent recession in India in 2020. After the government does all it has in its power and the RBI exhausts its option of decreasing interest rate or repo rate, the only option left to revive the economy is by printing of new money by RBI. With this new money, RBI purchases government bonds and the government infuses this money into the economy through its various spendings on goods, services, public welfare, so on and so forth. With this new money infused into the economy, the direction of the economic cycle changes again. That's my time for this session. Keep following our channel because my next video is on the role of government in regulating a country's economy. And let's find out if India will be hit by recession in 2020. Namaste.